Good morning. Today we will discuss about recursion. Sometimes people says that, sir, what is recursion? So it is very simple. What is recursion? Right? So recursion means the name itself says that what recursion is. When function call itself, it is known as a recursion. For example, let me give you the wonderful example. I have one function that is integer function. Now, this function is definitely returning something. There are some statements over here. And I'm calling the same function again. Right? So, what happened in this particular case? This function will call the function again. This concept is known as a recursion. So how recursion work? Recursion works in a stack. For example, let me give you the wonderful example over here. For example, I have one function and that function is void my function. Sometimes people says that, sir, is it required that the recursion function always return the value? No. I'm starting with the void. Please see carefully. I'm starting with the void. Here, what I'm doing, I'm just accepting the number from the user. That is void my function. Now what I'm writing here, if number is equal 0, then simply return the cursor. Whenever you write return, and if you are not returning any value, it is means no return value, right? It is means void. So I'm not returning anything. I'm just writing that the return the cursor to the calling environment. If number not equal to 0, then what you want to do? Then I want to simply call the same function again. So I'm calling the same function again, but I'm passing the value number minus 1. So what happens, see, if you pass the value that is 5, then your function will be called again. That will be, it will be called again with the 4. So 4 value will be available over here. Is number is equal to 4? No. Then function will be called again 4 minus 1. 3 value will be passed over here. Is 3 equal to 0? No. Then the calling environment will call the my function again with the 3 minus 1. So it will be 2. Is 2 equal to 0? No. Then your function will call again 2 minus 1. So it will pass the value 1 over here. Is number equal 1? No. Then definitely it will call again 1 minus 1. That will be 0. Is number equal 0? Yes. Then it will simply return the cursor. But whenever it returns the cursor, what the background picture is that I want to show you, right? So suppose I am writing here one printf statement, and the printf statement says that, for example, hello percentage d slash n, and I'm printing the value number, right? This is the very simple function. Here, what I did, I just call the function. For example, this is my main. This is my main, that is integer main, and I'm just calling this function, that is my function, and I'm passing the value 5. Now trust this program, how it will work. I'm just passing the value 5. So my function will pass the value 5 over here. Is number is equal to 5? No. Then this doesn't make any sense. My function number minus 1. So 5 minus 1, it will be called again. But what about this printf statement? Right? Then this printf statement, that is hello, and the number value is 5 first time. So hello 5 will be in your stack. Hello 5 will be in your stack. Now 5 minus 1, 4 will be passed over here. Is 4 equal 0? No. Then my function will be called with the 4 minus 1, and this statement will be in your stack, that is hello 4. So now here the value will be 3. Is 3 equal 0? No. Then the 3 minus 1 will become 2, but before that this value of number is 3, then the hello 3 will be in your stack. It will not print all these statements. It will be in stack, right? Now this 3 minus 1, that will be 2. 2 will be passed over here. That is 2 equal 0? No. 2 minus 1, it will be 1, but 2, that is the hello 2, will be in your stack. Hello 2 will be in your stack. Now that is 2 minus 1, that is 1 value will be passed over here. Is 1 equal 0? No. 1 not equal to 0. Then the 1 minus 1, 0 will be passed, but before that hello 1 will be in your stack. That is hello 1 will be in your stack. Is 1 minus 1, that is 0, is 0 equal 0? Yes. Then it will simply return the cursor to the calling environment. Now what happens, students? Whenever the cursor is written from this function, this is a stack. This is a stack. So stack will do what? Stack will simply print the statement that is the last in first out. So the last statement was what? Hello 1. So it will print the value that is hello 1, hello 2, hello 3, hello 4 and hello 5. This is the stack, the value first passed, that was the hello 5. So, but it will be printed in a like this, that is the hello 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stack will be managed like this and it will print the value that is hello 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is what the recursion is. Let me give you the practical demonstration for the same. So I'm just declaring that function over here, that is void my function. Here you can just pass the argument, that is integer. Now I'm just defining the function void my function. Here you can write integer number. Now we will definitely get the number from the user. So I'm just calling that particular function, that is my function and 5. Now what I want to do? Simple. If number equal 0, then simply return the cursor. Definitely this function is not returning any value, but it will return the cursor to the calling environment over here. Now if number not equal to 0, then I will simply call the function, that is my function number minus 1. So what happened? Your number value is 5. So 5 minus 1 will be called, that is 4, 3, 2, 1, and if it is 0, then the cursor will be returned. But what I am doing, after calling the function, I am writing here, that is hello %d slash n, and I am printing the number. Why? Because I want to know how the recursion is executed, right? That is what I want to know. And that is the reason why I am printing the statement over here. Dear students, please see carefully. This printf statement will not be executed immediately, but it will be stored in a stack. So first time hello 5 will be there and hello 5 will be stored into the stack, right? Then it will be called again. It will be called again and you will get the hello 4, hello 3, hello 2, hello 1, and your stack behavior will print the last value first, and as a result you will get hello 1, hello 2, hello 3, hello 4 and hello 5. If you look carefully over here, then this is the result, and this is the same as the result that I did on the paper. Now I want to give you one more example for the recursion. Please see carefully. What I want to do, I want to find out the factorial of the given number, and for that now I don't want to write the function that returns the void, but I want to write the function that returns the integer. So I'm just declaring here one function, and that is integer get factorial of integer. So what I want to do, whenever user pass any number, I want to calculate the factorial of the given number. So how we can do this? I have one function, and that is integer main. I want to call this function over here, that is get factorial, and whenever user pass get factorial of 5, and if this is printed, for example printf %d, and if you call this function get factorial, then I want the value that is 120. So how to write the function? to get the factorial of the given number. So very simple. And that I want to do the same thing using the recursion. Then students, you can define your function, that is integer get factorial integer number. So what happens, students? This 5 value will be passed over here. Now what we want to do? I just want to calculate the every number that is available with me, that I want to store, that is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and as well as I want to store I want to do the multiplication of all these things. So what we can do over here, simple. If this number is equal to 1, if number equal 1, then simply return the 1. Why? Because the 1 factorial is 1. 1 factorial is 1. But if number is not 1, see here, I had passed the value that is 5. It means the number is passed over here, that is 5. Is number equal 1? No. Then what to do? You can simply call here return. Now call the same function, that is get factorial. Whenever you call the same function, that is get factorial, and pass the number, that is number minus 1, and you can simply do multiply by number. Now if you look carefully, then what I did, see here, the number is passed over here, that is 5. Number passed over here, that is 5. So definitely this function will be called, that is 5 minus 1, and this multiply number will be in stack. Why? Because I'm directly calling the function from here. So this will be in stack. So multiply by 5 will be in stack, and the 5 minus 1, that is 4, will be passed over here. Is number equal 4? Yes, but it is not equal to 1. So is number equal 1? No, it is 4. Then get factorial of 4 minus 1, but the number value is 4. Then multiply by 4 will be in your stack. 4 minus 1 will be passed over here. That will be 3. Is number equal 1? No, it is 3. Then get factorial of 3 minus 1 will be called. 3 minus 1 will be called, but multiply by 3 will be in your stack. So 3 minus 1, it will be 2. 2 will be passed over here. Is number equal to 2? No. Then the get factorial of 2 minus 1, that will be 1. But the value of the number is 2, and it will be put in a stack. Still it will not process anything. It will be in a stack. Right. Now 2 minus 1 will be called, that will be 1. Is number equal 1? Yes. Then return the 1. Then this function will return the 1. So your value will be written 1 over here. Now, as this is the stack, then what happened? The last value will be processed first, that is 1. So 1 multiplied by 2, it will be 2. 2 multiplied by 3, it will be 6. 6 multiplied by 4, it will be 24. 24 multiplied by 5, it will be 120. Then this function will return the 120, and this will give you the output, that is 120. How this is possible? Let me show you the same thing practically. So let me save this program as, that is save as demo12.c. What we want to do now, we don't want to write the void, we want to return something. So I'm just declaring the function, that is get factorial, and we will take the input from the user, that is integer. Here we will simply call the function get factorial of 5. Now here in function definition, what we will do, we will simply write the function get factorial integer, that is number. If number is equal to 1, then simply return the 1. But if number not equal to 1, then simply return get factorial, the same function, number minus 1. So what happened? This function will be called directly, right? So it will do what? 5 minus 4, it will be 4. 4 will be called directly, but I don't want to call directly. I am just putting the multiply by number in a stack. So multiply number, that is multiply by 5, will be put into the stack, and this will be called directly, right? So 4 will be passed, So multiply by 4 will be in a stack and 3 will be passed. After this, 2 will be passed and multiply by 3 in a stack. After this, the value that is 2 over here is 2 equal 1? No. Then the 2 minus 1 will be, that is 1 will be passed over here and multiply by 2 will be in your stack. After that, is the 1 number equal 1? Yes, 2 minus 1, 1. Then written 1. So 1 will be last value in your stack. So it will be processed to first. And that is the reason why you will get the 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 5. And as a result, this get factorial will return the value, that is the factorial is equal to percentage d, and this function will return you, that is the factorial of the given number, that is the passed number, and it will be 120. Is it? So this is the way you can call your recursion function and you can get the factorial. But sometimes people say that, sir, I want to find the sum of the first natural numbers. That is, for example, if you pass here 5, then I want the 15. And if you pass 10, then I want the 55. It means the sum of the first natural numbers. So is it possible using recursion? Yes, you can do this. For example, let me save this particular program as demo 13.c. What we want to do, that we will write over here. I'm just declaring the function over here. I want what? I want the sum of the natural numbers. So you can simply write here integer sum natural number, and here you can get the value from the user. So this is just a function declaration. Here you can write sum of n numbers, that is the sum of n numbers is equal to, now I want to call the function that is sum of natural number, and I am passing here 10. So it should give me the result, that is the 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 and up to 10, and it will be, that is 55. So how we can do this? Simple. You can create the function that is sum of natural numbers. Here you can pass the value from the user. So what happened? User value is 10. So up to which level you want to go? So if the value is 0, then I don't want to move proceed. So if number equal 0, then return 0. Why 0? Because we want to do the sum, right? So if you are writing here return 1, then it will simply add the 1 value. So whenever you are doing the multiplication, that is the factorial, return the 1. And whenever you are doing this addition, return the 0. Because whenever you add the 0 to any number, it will not make the changes. And the same way, whenever you multiply any number with the 1, it will not make any changes. So if number becomes 0, then simply return the 0. Now return what? I'm just calling the same function again, but I'm passing the value number minus 1. And I'm putting the plus number into stack. So what happens? See, your 10 will be passed into stack, and the 9 will be passed into the function. After that, 10 plus 9, 10 is already there in the stack. So plus 9 will be in stack, and the 8 will be passed into the function. Plus 8 will be in the stack, and 8 minus 1, 7 will be passed into the function. 7 will be passed over here. So 7 will be, plus 7 will be in your stack, and 7 minus 1, that is 6, will be passed over here. And so on up to what? For example, if it is a 1, then the plus 1 will be in your stack, and 1 minus 1, that is 0, will be passed over here. If the number is equal to 0, then return the 0. So what happened? 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10, and you will get the result, that will be the 55. And as a result, you will get the value, that is the 55 over here. Why? Because I want to do the sum of the natural numbers. But how it did? How it did? Very simple. It always store all the statements into the stack. So that is the thing that you need to remember, and that I have already demonstrated in the first example, that the remaining statement. It means the function is calling from here. Then this statements, the remaining statements after the function, that will be stored into the stack and that will be processed. All the statements will be processed once the function finish the calling, right? And that will be processed in a last in first out manner. And that is the reason why I'm getting the sum of first natural number. Now let you know that you can print the first 50 numbers as well as you can print the 50 to 1, that is in a reverse order also. How we can do this? Let me show you using the recursion. For example, let me save this program demo 14.c. Now I'm just giving you a wonderful example. Please see carefully. Now what I want to do? I want to do what? Whenever user pass 10, then I want to print. That is the 10 to 1. It means in reverse order I want to print the thing. How we can do this? Simple. You can write over here, that is the void, for example, function integer. I want to print all the numbers in reverse. It means if user pass my function of 50, then I want the value that is 50 to 1, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46 up to 1. How we can do this? Simply you can pass over here integer number, and here what we can do, if up to which number you want? Up to 1. It means if number equals 0, then simply return the cursor. So up to 0, up to 1 it will be printed. If it is 0, then it will be simply written back. Now you can call your function, that is function, and you can pass number -1. After this, you can simply print your value. So what happens, students? If you print a number, then this number will be in your stack. This number will be in your stack. So whenever you write like this, then what happened? 50, 49, 48, 47, all this will be in your stack. But you want that I want to print the number that is in reverse direction. Then you can simply print your number first and then you can simply deduct the number, right? And then you can do the same. What happened? Whenever you run this particular code, let me write here function. Whenever you write function and whenever let me run this particular code, that is build and run. Whenever you run this, if you look carefully what happens, see, all the numbers from 50 to 1, it is displayed. Why it happens? Simple. Your 50 value is passed over here. 50 is passed. Is 50 equal to 0? No. Then the 50 is printed and 49 is passed. Right? Is 49 equal to 0? No. Then simply 49 is printed and 48 is passed. Up to. If number is equal to 0, then it will simply return. Right? So up to 1, it will print 50 to 1. Now people says that, sir, I want this in a, you printed all this in a reverse direction. I want to print all this in a forward direction. If you want all this in a forward direction, then it is very simple. You can put this into stack. So your 50 will be put into stack. 49 will be in a stack. 48 in a stack. So stack last element will be 1. Right? So it will be printed 1 to 50. Here. Right? So same program, see. Same program that you have did using the loop to print the 1 to 50 and 50 to 1. The same program you can do with the recursion, see here.